I'm going to mute myself.
Deal. All right. Hello. Welcome to November. I am pumped for it to be November because you guys hear it all the time, but it is, you got to open those eyeballs. You get on camera and your eyeballs goes like this. You look like you're baked out your
No, they always go like that.
She comes on, she's like, let me see this. Okay, so end of the year, this time of year is so good. You guys, I will say it until it's literally January 1st, but if you are considering or thinking or contemplating or dabbling in the coaching adventure, now is 1010% the time to do it. Because right now you are building your team or your momentum, even if it's with clients, for the beginning of 2020. So I know it's so hard to wrap our heads around. We think, okay, it's November. The people I talk to are gonna join me for November, but they're not joining for November. They are joining for December, January, February, March, and April. They're joining and going to thrive in those months. To give you an idea, people who are coaches from July, August, or September are now showing the real benefits and understanding of the business. You guys, it takes time for people to get the idea, to build a routine, to start a program. So the people you are recruiting right now in November, December, who you recruited in October are really, really important, because come January, when we have that, like, everybody is on top, we're all riled up, we're all ready to go, we're like, oh my God, it's a new year, these New Year's resolution crap things, and people are ready to go. It's just this energy of, okay, I'm in this, I'm ready to go. Those are those people who you recruited at the end of the year are the ones that are going to be running. The people you recruit in January, February, and March, they are your summer thrivers, okay? It's really important that we wrap our heads around this. You have to think like a business owner, and you are not living day by day, month by month. You are ahead of the game. You are ahead of the times. So get your CEO hat on and think to yourselves, okay, the people I am recruiting right now, I don't necessarily expect them to go diamond in 30 seconds or hit emerald in 2 days. I need them to get the grasps of things and really get an understanding and build a momentum and build a routine and get themselves familiar with this routine, with this whole Beachbody world, so that in their month 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are thriving, okay? So it's really important that you hone in on the end of the year. We have 4 full weeks as of today. It is the 4th. You have 4 full weeks because we end the month on a Saturday, which I love, because it means that you literally have that last week of November. You have all Monday through Friday plus Saturday to lock it in and get yourselves ready to go for December. So I'm really excited about November. If you are not in the November boot camp, get in there. It's going to be super fun, super energetic. Bring your liveliness. I made that post in there today, but the energy that we get in that group is dictated by the energy that each of us bring to the group. So if you want to get really good high energy, you've got to come in there, provide that, and I promise you, you will get that double, triple, and so on, okay? All right, I personally want to say, we have to simplify this freaking business, okay? We have got to take the pressure off of the table. We have got to take the difficulty off of the table. Side note, squirrel, we're doing really well with lighting. Like,
yeah.
Wow, I'm really impressed right now. We don't even have the light on.
So we didn't have to buy that thing?
No, we did. Don't worry, we did. So what was I saying? Oh, we need to simplify things. What I mean by that is this business is simply run a boot camp or add people to our boot camp, tell people about the workouts that you're doing, literally just tell them about it. Whether they decide to buy or not, join you or not, it's up to them. Don't forget that. It is not your job to make people's decisions. It is your job to provide the information. You are simply a messenger. It is your job to show up, to work on yourselves, and the rest of it will fall into place. The rest of it will literally fall into place. So I just want to give you this super basic short reminder. Simplify the heck out of this business. Do your workout, reach personal development, make a post about it, and tell people about it. Give them that party invitation that says, hey, I have a boot camp. This is so much fun. Would you be interested in learning about it? I also want to remind you that you guys can use, my website has an info page for literally like every program since I think the UPF program is the first one that I made, which was way back in April. So there is a page for, all of the boot camps that we have. November boot camp, it's up there. I won't post it on social media, but if you want to share with people and get people joining in on the November boot camp, or just in the HLC Facebook community, you can send them that as a third-party tool. You don't have to say, this is run by my coach Ray. You can just say, here's a description. My coach made this, but this is for the boot camp that we run. Talk about it as if it's yours as well, and use that as a third-party tool. I used to do that. I think I said this last week. I used to do that for like 6+ months when I was a brand new coach. I used to use my upline's coaching page, which is not even good. It wasn't even good. It wouldn't fly now, but that's what I used. And so when people would say, when I would invite to coaching, because I was like, I know I have to get to Emerald, I have to get to Diamond, I have no idea what to do, I have no idea how to train people and to do this, but I know I got to get there. And so I would send these invites, and when people were like, yeah, send me information, I'm like, well, this is what I read, so let's do it. Let's send it to them. And I would just send them this third-party link that just says, hey, this is the page that I read that has all of the information. Give it a read. Let me know what you think. Then from there, depending on what they said, I can give them the next tool that I used to find that information, or I can go and find another source or the answer or whatever it is in order to help them through that. So you can use the tools that I have created on my website. You can use tools from Beachbody. You can use tools from another coach. You can use tools from YouTube. You guys, you are CEOs. Put the CEO hat on and be like, how the hell, if I had to make if I was paid $500 right now to send this person information, what would I do? If this was your job and you were paid $50 an hour to figure out this answer, what would you do? 1010%, you would not send me a message that says, Ray, what do I do? How do I do this? What do I send to this person? You would say, okay, well, let's go to Google. Let's go to YouTube. Right? And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to ask me a question, but I don't want you to doubt yourself in the fact that you can find that information. I am happy to answer the questions. I am happy to say, girl, that's on Google. Go and find it. I am not afraid to tell you where to find it on Beachbody. But my point is, I don't want you to doubt yourself in thinking, I don't have the answers, so I can't give it the answers to somebody else. It is all on Google. How do I explain coaching? All on YouTube. What is the answer to Shakeology? All on Google. You can find every single answer on the FAQs. If you don't know something, you can type that question in and then just put Beachbody FAQ, and it will probably pop up the FAQ. FAQs were my saving grace when I was a brand new coach, because I didn't have a coach who told me all of the answers every single day. I didn't have a coach who knew all of the answers every single day. And I was just so focused on getting the people that I would just Google everything. So my point is, I don't want you to overcomplicate this. You do not need to know all of the answers. Do you know how? No, you don't, because I don't share this. You guys ask me questions so often that I have zero idea of the answer. And I have been doing this for nearly 4 years. I'm not even kidding. I still don't know the answers to so many things. Or my favorite is when you guys tell me something and I'm like, that's not true. And you're like, no, it is. And you like screenshot it or send me the link. And I'm like, oh, you learn something new every day. So if I can be doing this long into it, not having all of the answers or not having a clue about 90% of the questions that you're asking, then you can do this. I am not that much further along with information than you are. The only difference is that I Googled when I got that question, and I went into conversations not afraid to be able to go to Google. You also have all of these different groups and places and people that you can ask the questions to. Stop being stuck in the fear zone of, I don't have the answers, so I can't do this. If I paid Kyle $100 right now to go and send out 10 messages, you don't know the answers, but I'll give you $300, $500. I'll give that money to you right now. He would go and do it, and he'd be like, well, guess I got to figure out this answer. That's what you have. You send these messages, you can get paid. You're just not getting paid because you're not sending the messages. And you're only doing that because you're not confident in being able to go to Google. Okay, Kyle has this ability to really simplify things, and it's probably going to really irritate you because it irritates the crap out of me, but I think we all need to hear it. So lay it on us.
She's right. So reason Ray wants me to talk about a couple things is in relation to my work, because a lot of what I do is actually very similar to what you guys do when you just boil it down to the basic level of what the actions are. So my actual job, I'm a pension plan investment consultant.
Blah, 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 blah.
I deal with pensions at Manulife. At the end of the day, it's basically selling investments in very high volumes to a lot of people. So throughout the course of the day, a lot of what drives my business and makes me money, I get some salary, but I'm very much on bonus as well. A lot of what I do is very similar to what you guys do and what actually makes you money. And so, you know, Ray was saying to simplify it in that you don't need all the answers right away. That was exactly the same when I started my job. It was just back in April. And I mean, the financial stuff that I do can get very technical, and I didn't need to know all of that. I kind of just went in and I just focused on the main actions of getting on the phones, calling people, having conversations, making sure I got all my touch points. And then if something came up, well, shit, I'll just figure it out as I go. If I wanted to figure out everything beforehand, I'd probably still not be talking to anybody and not be making any money yet. So it's really important that you don't get in your own head and think that you need to know everything beforehand. You just got to start doing the action and then figure it out as you go. And, you know, one of the things is that it might feel like it's a bit repetitive and it can get a bit boring doing that. And that might be the case, but you just got to do those damn actions anyway. And most of those actions, yeah, they're going to be the same. You're going to look somebody up, you're going to send them an invite, but then it's from there that you get to have pieces of interesting conversations that come in, because everyone's circumstances that you talk to are going to be different. So you get to come through unique scenarios and different ways of helping different people. And if you're able to find the, you know, kind of the joy in doing that and talking to different people, different situations, and just be really curious about, you know, how you're able to help other people, I think that's where a lot of your individuality and your personality get to come through. And that's the exact same thing that applies to my job. So when I'm at work, I work in a head office. I'm literally on the phone speaking for about 2.5 out of 8 hours a day. So it sounds like a relatively small amount, but when you think that literally over a quarter of your day is high-paced, high-volume, very high energy, having to speak to people. It does get repetitive, but you just find the interesting pieces in it and helping people through those different unique situations.
What's your mindset when you don't want to do it?
That there's not really a choice but to do it.
What part of you feel, okay, so what would you say to us who we don't have a salary? What do you say to the girl who doesn't want to get up, doesn't want to invite, is fearful of inviting, doesn't like, so, okay, I'm going to say that after. What would you say to us? Because you get paid to sit there and not do it. You just don't make your bonus. So what do you say to coaches who aren't getting paid to make those boring calls? They have to actually.
In that case, because I do get paid with a salary, there's even more reason for coaches to go out and do those actions and have that high level of repetition, because you guys literally only get something if you do something. Like Ray said, technically I could sit on my ass for a bit and still get some money. I mean, I'm going to get fired, but I still will. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just, you got to do it. And for whatever reason it might be, for me, there's mostly two things that really drive me. One is that I'm ultra competitive. I don't want other people on my team doing better than me. If I hear someone else make a sale next to me and then they make a second one and I haven't made my first yet, I need to get it going because I do not want to lose. I need to get back ahead of that. That's one part of it. The other for me, I realize that I am fear motivated. So that might play into the competitive a bit too, but like I realize that if I'm not making a sale, that means that I'm not getting the big paycheck at the end of the month. I'm getting a little one. And so it's just, I think, understanding the consequences of what you don't get if you don't do it. But then there's also the flip side, which, you know, motivates me as much as the other person as well. When you do that, you get a reward for it. And I think that's amazing. Some people don't like jobs that are, you know, bonus structure, commission structure. I think they're amazing. They motivate people to do their best work and always show up and, you know, try to give good value.
I just want to say, this is just a side note. I totally told him and convinced him to get a sales job. He didn't want one, and now listen to him.
No, I didn't. It's really ironic because I always thought sales would be something sleazy, gross. It didn't feel good. But it is so much fun to actually be able to speak to people and get them to change the way they think.
You guys, this is the gold of the call. No, but I'm not even kidding. How many people think to themselves, I don't want to start coaching because I don't want to be a salesperson? How many people? I guarantee you guys thought that. I guarantee it, because so many people think in their heads, I don't want to get into sales because I don't want to be a salesperson, or I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be gross. Sales are gross. But it's not. It is so rewarding to help somebody get started. Like, there is literally no other feeling than getting somebody started, but then seeing that person succeed themselves. Now, that's not entirely on you. It is them. They have to decide to do that. But there is literally no other feeling than watching somebody else succeed and have even it. You guys, it's not even like these big, massive successes. It's literally just pressing play on their workout, smiling bigger, having more confidence when it comes to the groups and stuff like that. Like, there is nothing more fulfilling, no better feeling, no better reward than to have somebody sign up, but then they go and succeed. It is the greatest feeling you will ever experience. I was going to say, sorry to cut you off, but that is literally the gold. I kid you not, you guys, I had to I don't like the word convince. I had to convince Kyle to get a sales job because sales is I think every single person in their lifetime should work a sales job. That's what I told him. It forces you to improve your communication skills. It encourages you to get out of your comfort zone and find these ways that you can light somebody up and communicate, not just verbally, but through your energy. And it encourages you to talk to people and be in the energy of people. That in and of itself, honestly, is really hard. And if I had to choose, I wouldn't actually, because I definitely am like a face-to-face person, but I love being at home by myself and not talking to anybody. Like, I just want to introvert for the rest of my life. But being in a sales position, I know, right? Being in a sales position of some kind, it forces you to be in the energy of other people. That skill to be able to be in the energy of other people, but also like pull yourself away from that to be able to live a proper life and to communicate with your significant others or your family or your friends. That is a skill. That is a skill. And we forget about that. So being in a position where you have to sell something, first of all, you are not selling something that is a scam or that is gross. You are selling an opportunity for people to live a healthy lifestyle. And the only reason I know that is because you are doing it, right? So you can believe in what you're offering. So what you have to give them the price. Okay, great. Tell them it's $186 Canadian in order to buy a challenge pack. It's on sale this month, so it's $162 to buy a challenge pack this month. Buy the damn challenge pack. It's $140 American to buy a challenge pack. It is mind-blowing, the cost of this. Don't get caught up in, oh my God, I need to make sure that they say yes. I need to make them feel comfortable about the price. It's not about them feeling comfortable. If they don't feel comfortable, that's not your problem. That is not your job. It is not your responsibility in order to get them to say yes. Now, our job is 1,000 times easier because we've got millions of people that we can talk to. Kyle, on the other hand, he really does have to work to get those yeses. So his job, he does have to have a skill to be able to get people to say yes. In my opinion, I don't think that we have to have that skill necessarily in the sense of we only have this funnel of people. We have 3 massive countries, and France is coming up, or we're already launched there. I can't remember, but it's coming up, I think.
And so with that,
thanks for.
I got this. With that, it makes me think of 2 things. First, you guys probably can very easily see that Ray and I are very different types of people when we're speaking.
He's boring, I'm fun.
Basically. But that shows something that you can be successful in this in basically whatever your personality is. Ray is very, I don't know, in your face. She's energetic and a little bit louder. I'm a little more quiet and I listen more so, right? So
you don't listen, be honest. I'm just kidding.
I do when I talk to other people. But just to say that whatever your personality is, whatever your style is, you can influence people with that, and you're going to find people who are willing to listen to that. You just got to make, whatever that style is, work for you. And then the second is that as you're doing this, like Ray was saying, you guys have tons of people that are available to you, basically just an infinite pipeline. It doesn't run out. There's always more people to talk to. Going back that you just got to do those basic actions. It's, at some point, part of it's just got to be about taking care of what that first action is and not just focusing on what the reward is or what the outcome of each of those conversations are or whatever the touch points are, but just getting it done and stacking those numbers because they do build up. and action always gets reward at the end of the day. So that's very similar to me. My pipeline is obviously much smaller than your guys, but on my team of people at work, I have some of the highest volume for reaching out to people, and it ends up showing, and I do pretty well with it.
He's being humble. He's literally, own it.
I kick ass in my job.
He's at the top of his own leaderboard. He's at the top, and he's only been there since April. He's literally crushing people who have been there for multiple years. He's being humble.
And so with that, part of it is that I take advantage of my skill set of being able to listen and letting other people who I'm talking to express themselves so I can figure out what they need. That's part of it. But then the second one is I just do the action. Like when I'm at work, people might be on their phones, on Facebook, doing different things in between what they're supposed to be doing. I'm at my desk. I'm like, no, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
What goes through your head while you're doing that? Because we definitely don't all have that same ability.
Honestly, I don't even know if anything else is going through my head. It's just, you just do it. Like there's just no other option.
But there is another option, because you are choosing to do the action instead of putzing around.
Yeah, I guess just at the end of the day, I'm able to see what the benefits and the consequences are. The benefit is you talk to people and you get paid. The consequence is you don't talk to people and you don't get anything. You don't move ahead.
And that's what I'm going to say is, for us, let's apply this to coaching. You have to be so aware of, I think the key for you is Kyle is actually like petrified of losing. He will not say that because he doesn't know what losing actually is, but he actually has a fear of losing. He will not be bad at anything. He is always good at everything that he does. And if he's not good at it, he'll practice or he'll figure it out or he'll not do it anymore, because he just has this fear of, oh my gosh, I have to be the best. For me, I don't really care. I mean, I like to be really freaking good, and I know I'm really good at what I do, and I will continue to do that. But I'm not motivated by a fear in not being the best, right? So I think that it's really important that you learn what you are fueled by. If you don't know what is going to be the Kyle way of getting you to do the things, then you will forever find a distraction, find an excuse, find a reason. But at the end of the day, you can only have one or the other. You can only have results or you can only have excuses. You can't have both together. So finding that like really strong, what is your driver to succeed? What is the driving force to succeed? For me, I want to be noticed. My driving force is, if I don't succeed, people are not going to say, damn, Ray, you're really good at your job. People are not going to say, wow, thank you so much. Because of you, I changed my life. Because of you, you're the reason that I am able to pay for my bills. That's what motivates me. If I don't do my invites, I don't have people that notice me. I don't have people that are recognizing me. I am not, that's what I'm fueled by. And if I don't do my work, then I have a husband who is kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? So that's what I'm fueled by. I'm not fueled by this fear that I am not the best. You can still succeed, but you have to know what it is that is going to get you to do the work. If you're not doing the work, you need to ask yourself, why am I choosing not to do my invites? Why am I choosing not to do my workouts, not to show up on social media? Your job is simple. The job of coaching is simple. I just want to stab this into the table. I'm just kidding. The job of coaching is so simple. You have to ask yourself, why am I not doing this? And figure that answer out. And then, I always just say in my head, I'm like, what would Kyle do? Kyle would not be on Facebook right now. What would Kyle do? Kyle would tell me to just do it. That's literally what goes through my head. I also wanted to say, one thing that Kyle said was actually really, really applicable to us and our inviting is you can't think of inviting like I'm going to send out my 60 messages. I'm going to send out my 5 messages. You can't think of that as the job. I am just now really realizing that it is not our job to just send out the messages. The job, the fun part of it, the rewarding part of it is the people who respond to those messages. So he had said, you know, it's not just calling, it's, oh, I have to think about the conversations and enjoy the process of having those conversations, of getting to know these people, of connecting with them and building this relationship with them. That's the work. That's the job. So you can send, this is why I say send more messages than fewer. But let's say you set a goal of, I'm going to send 10 messages a day. 10 messages. If one of those messages, or if one of those people come back, that's when your job starts. That is when the job of inviting starts. You are simply planting the seed, but if you literally plant the seed and don't do anything else, you don't water it, you don't put fertilizer in it, you don't check on it, nothing happens. It dies. It doesn't die because it didn't grow. It literally does nothing. It just stays in there as a dead zombie. Okay, that's the same thing with your invite. If you don't do the things, if you don't have the conversation and show up on your social media and show them the reason why they should talk to you, then your job is not inviting. It's having the conversation. Okay?
And
did you have anything else?
Yeah, just one other tidbit that has helped me to stay on track when I am at work. And it's so simple that like you would think it shouldn't even work, but just having like checkpoints for myself in the day. So like an example is I don't allow myself to get up and go to the bathroom until at least 10:30 or until I've made 10 phone calls. Right?
But if you have to really go pee?
It doesn't matter. I don't get up. I just don't, because I have to do the work. And then I don't allow myself to have a snack until at least 11:30 or until I've made, say, 20 calls. So just like, just, I don't know how to put it, but basically having these markers of making sure I get things done before I allow my focus to go somewhere else.
The way that I do it is, I actually do that too. Let's say you are somebody who is doing this coaching within the pockets of your time. A great way to create these checkpoints for yourself is I am not going to watch TV until I send my 10 messages and I answer my inbox. Once you've done that, go watch TV. Go and enjoy your life. Go and do all of the fun things that you do as an adult. Go and live your life. But until then, you don't. At that point, you don't go to bed until those 10 messages are out and your inbox has been answered, even if that's one message, no messages, or 60 messages, okay? Another great way is you make certain things throughout the day. You take your vitals and you put them throughout your day. So when I was working full-time, what I would do is in the morning I would wake up. First thing in the morning, I sent out my 10 to 20, 30 invites, depending on the time. But I would send out between 10 and 30 invites. And I didn't get up until I was done. If I was going to be late, I couldn't be late because I had a job to go to, which meant that I got done. But I would force myself, okay, well, you guess you're not having breakfast this morning because you didn't finish your invites. You have to finish them before you go to work. I obviously gave myself enough time, but that was one thing that I did. And then I didn't touch invites for the rest of the day. The second thing that I did was I did my personal development. I either listened to it on Audible on my way, 5-minute drive, my 5-minute drive there, my 5-minute drive home. It's only 10 minutes of listening, but that's what I did. Or when I was at the gym, which I totally was not supposed to do, but when I was at the gym and I needed to do my personal development, I read my book. I got The Slight Edge on my phone. I don't even know where or how, but I got it on my phone and I would read it as I was doing my warm-up for my workout. Then the third thing that I had to do was I had to answer those messages. I would get home at like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I would eat dinner after Kyle's already eaten. I would say hi, and instead of talking with him or being social, I was either on a training call, listening to a team call, or listening to a YouTube training, or I was answering my messages, or I was doing both at the same time. I didn't watch TV until I had done those things. Man, I was way more effective when I had a full-time job. And then now what I do is in the morning, I don't work out until I've done my journaling, my personal development, non-negotiable. I'm not, that's my reward. I drink my Energize, and my reward is to do my workout. Not that it's always really a reward, but that's what I do, okay? When I am working, when I'm doing my actual invites or whatever, I don't eat the next meal. So I will do my workout, I'll have my shake, and then I'm not allowed to get up and have lunch until I have finished what I would like to get done, okay? So same thing, yeah, I guess I do that too, but
so, yeah. And with that, there does have to be balance. I'm not saying that I'm an absolute machine. I take the longest lunch out of anybody that I work with. But that's, again, because I understand that when I am at my desk, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and I get it done. So I take a longer break so I can recharge. And then in the afternoon, I'll get out of the building and go for a walk.
Yeah.
So we do have to have balance with
Point is, simplify the business. Do not for 1 second overcomplicate it, and just get the work done. Remind yourself that the work is not to send the invites. The work comes when you have the conversations that come from the invites. That's when your work really starts, okay? All right, that's it. Happy November 4th. Do you guys have any questions? You rock.
Nope.
Excellent. All right. I will post this recording and have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll chat, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.